For the people attending online, please use the Q&A to raise any question you have at this stage. I would like to ask our last speaker to come. He's just behind me, so he's coming from TIC Salut, another important player in European project, very active since many years, and certainly one of the best center of excellence in terms of e-health development in Europe. And so happy to have this together with us, Juan Carlos Quintero, right? Yeah. Who just will introduce a bit how Catalonia is tackling the chronic integrated care challenge. So the floor is yours.
The pointer?
It's there.
Okay. 10 minutes. Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. I appreciate the invitation to stay here. My presentation is together with the Dr. Joan Guanyabens, because TIC Salut Foundation and the Department of Health, we are working together in this kind of agenda of integrated care with people, for people with complex needs. And you could see here, that is the work we are making here in Catalonia. The situation of Catalonia is a main figure about the situation we have here in Catalonia, 8 million people, and we have a distribution of competence between the Department of Health and the Department of Welfare. The Department of Welfare and the local government, they are responsible for the social care services. And in our project, we have started to work with the people with multi-chronic conditions, but we are trying to work in an integrated care for people with complex both health and social care needs. Our proposal from maybe 12 years ago, we have started to work from this time in this kind of double approach, the both approach, the population approach and the individual approach. And you could see what kind of practical examples we are trying to make related to this kind of double approach. Our conceptualization of complexity, we have started maybe 12 years ago, but we have a new reconceptualization maybe 7, 8 years ago with this kind of figure. The conceptualization is, you could see people with complex health needs, with social complexity, and with system complexity. And we are trying to construct the model of integrated care according to this kind of triple complexity. The main decision we have taken in the past was because we don't have any kind of international codification of people with complex needs, we establish any way to identify the people with complex needs. And we have established two kinds of complexities: people with multimorbidity with complex needs, and people with advanced chronic disease, and maybe requiring some kind of oriented palliative care. Okay, that's the main decisions we have taken, and we have established in the system to identify and to register, it doesn't matter, the clinical record, this kind of identifications. We have made some kind of work related to this kind of the procedure, no, to work with this kind of population. You could see here, no, in the case of identification, situational diagnosis, a care plan, and we have constructed some kind of key information summary, a key information summary related to the main needs and the wills and the desire of this kind of people. One of the most interesting things we have performed here in Catalonia, we have the aggregation of all the information in the health sector. We have the possibility to have the aggregation of all minimum data set of primary health care, mental health, hospital care and intermediate care. Not till now social care services, but we are trying with the foundation to have this kind of work together. And as a result to have this kind of aggregation, you could see what kind of result. For example, this is the picture of the people who is in the home care programs, the people who is PCC with complex needs, the people who is MACA with advanced chronic disease, and the people who is in residential care. No? For example, the more red you see, the more burden of multimorbidity the people has. And you could see here what kind of pictures we have related to this kind of population. We have a characterization of this kind of population. You could see the main use is hospital, intermediate care in this kind of patients. And for example, you could see, compared with equivalent population, this kind of population are using 5-folder compared to equivalent population. 15-folder the use of intermediate care. Another important thing is, as we have this kind of identification, we are publishing this kind of information in the National Catalan Health Record. And it doesn't matter where you are, including the 112 emergency room, it's possible to access to this kind of identification. And another important thing is primary healthcare is the responsible to elaborate and generate this kind of key information summary. You could see here the content on the right, the content of this kind of key information summary. This kind of key information summary is uploaded to the National Care Record, and it could be accessed by any kind of service working with this kind of patient. Another important thing, we have developed some kind of customized screen related to this kind of patients. We have the key information summary as a formulary, but we have the possibility to have this kind of a screen related to this kind of situation. And for example, at the top you could see the timeline of different kind of events, hospitalization, emergency care, different kind of things. And you could see here information related to the different kind of multidimensional assessment related to this kind of patients. And at the bottom you could see things related to the plan. For example, what about the wills, what about the agreement between the patient or the person and the clinicians. And you are writing here, and this kind of key information summary is published and shared. Another important thing, as we have all the information together, we have created some kind of algorithm where we have the possibility to offer to the clinician in the clinical record that a person potentially could be a complex patient. I think we are offering this kind of support tool, and the clinician is the main responsible and the last responsible to think if the patient is complex or not. You could see here, that is the example, we have a population, as in primary healthcare we are working in some kind of population approach. It's possible to have the people you have attached, and maybe they are not complex, but potentially could be complex according to the algorithm, okay? Another important thing is we have developed, as we have all the information integrated for this kind of population, for the people with multi-chronic conditions, PSC-MACA, with complex needs, we have different kind of indicators. For example, you could see here what kind of indicators related to utilization of services in a population base per every, not only for all the region of Catalonia, but also for every primary health center in a population base. It's possible to calculate and offer this kind of scorecard for the directors of primary healthcare centers. And you could see here, for example, in the case, this is an example of two indicators. On the left is indicators about the prevalence of PCC, of complex patients, and on the right you could see the rate of emergency admissions of this kind of patients. Now, for example, another indicator is days spent at home. We are calculating days spent at home of this kind of population in a population base. You could see here the different 42 counties we have here in Catalonia. The last thing it is about, we are working in some kind of integrated health and social care. We are going beyond the health needs of this kind of population. We are working, and we would like to create an agency of integrated care to work in this kind of agenda. And you could see here what kind of people with this kind of concurrent health, both health and social care needs, we are working. Another important thing, we have created some kind of instrument to screen and to identify the people with social complexity. With the algorithm, it's possible to have the clinical complexity, but we have this kind of instrument. It's a 14 questionnaire instrument related to this kind of thing, and with this kind of representation related to different kind of domains. And it is the tool, it is used by the social care services from the local governments, okay? Another important thing, we are working with the foundation, with the TIC Salut Foundation. It is about to have a standardization of the social care problems and needs, because we don't have any kind of international codification of social care needs, and we have created, with SNOMED, this kind of standardization of this kind of social care code. And the last thing, it's about a new development we have made. We have information of the health sector, we have information from the social sector, and we have created two viewers, a viewer of health for social care, and another viewer from social care to health, with very basic information. You could see here on the left, it is the same screen we have for the complex patients. And we are offering this kind of information for the social care services. You could see here, with my presentation, you could see the YouTube in English, and you could see what kind of contents we are developing in this case. And that has figures about this kind of viewers. We have used in 9 months, because we have started in July 24, we have used 400,000 accesses to this kind of tools. I think it is well used by different kind of clinicians and also social care services in local government. Okay, and that is the last slide. That is our agenda for the next years. I think to update and calibrate these kind of algorithms, to work in a key information summary from the health and social care perspective, and to have a repository. We are constructing with the foundation this kind of repository of joint health and social care needs, and to consolidate, we have developed, but we need to consolidate this kind of minimum data set of taxonomy of social care needs. Okay, thank you very much.
So this will conclude this very first session, introductory session of this great day. We're going to have Jennifer, I think now, finally our coffee today.
Yes. So great, thank you everybody. This official close the session. For right now, I'd like to remind our online participants there's a question and answer section, so please type your questions in the chat. And a bit of housekeeping, coffee is right now, it's down the stairs and to the left. And if I could call all the speakers back up to the stage, and one more round of applause as well for their excellent presentations.